the Swirly S-Line PD2, reinvented, and it has been given the name the Sky Stone. The PD2 is one of the most unique discs that has always been in our lineup, one of the most reliable discs in our lineup. Everybody has needed it, everybody wanted it, and now everybody's gonna get to throw it. So what we're looking at here with the reinvented PD2 is this signature, what I call like that wing bevel right here. That is what makes the PD2 what it is. That's what gives it the wind fighting resistance and just like overall balance. Like it's never going to surprise you because a lot of the weight is in the rim, and that's what separates the PD2 from other just overstable distance drivers. But these ones have absolute spaceship tops to them. Just, you can probably hear the pop of my microphone, but brand new Swirly S-Line PD2. There's only one thing to do, and that's throw it as hard as you can. And that is incredibly overstable. Wow, I can't say I'm surprised. Let's give this thing a bunch of anhyzer. Oh my Lord, never a doubt. I threw that thing like it was a tilt, let alone turning. It didn't even think about holding to the right. It immediately started to go flat, and that's why I said tilt. It is the distance driver of FD3s. The reason that the pros use a PD2, in my opinion, is because yes, we have really overstable cloud breakers, PDs that go really far and stuff like that. But one thing about the PD2, sometimes it's worth it to throw the PD2 instead of a cloud breaker for the dependability. Sure, a PD2 is just as overstable or more than a cloud breaker, but you find yourself benefiting from giving yourself a more predictable lie with a little less distance rather than throwing the cloud breaker, trying to stretch it for an extra 30 feet, and you might find yourself in a spot that you weren't ready to land in. Oh my Lord. It is so overstable. It's like I'm putting it so high up in the air, but by the time it's getting to the ground, it's hitting the ground so sharp that the skip is almost not even existing. Yep. Oh, go in. Do it. Ooh, that's a park job. These PD2s are wild. If you were to ask me right now, what's my #1 need for a PD2 in the bag? And that is a distance driver shot that is no fear of too much anhyzer. The first shot that comes to my mind is hole 1 at Lake Eureka. Instead of trying to throw like a flip up that you kind of guess if it's gonna flip or if the wind's gonna mess with it, I go with the most predictable disc in my bag, a PD2, jack it over on an anhyzer and just let it flex back safe. I have just found my new disc for hole 1 at Lake Eureka, and I couldn't be more excited for everybody else to get a chance to throw theirs. If you are a power thrower, these new PD2s are gonna treat you well. Like I said, it just dug right in, but I couldn't even get the disc far enough to land by the basket, but then I threw the same line with an anti-flex way out there, and this one is about 20 feet. Like I said before, they don't go as far as a cloud breaker, but sometimes they are just a better choice because they're more reliable, more predictable. One of my other favorite things for a PD2, sidearm reliability. And I'm sure Gavin Babcock is gonna freaking eat these up, being able to just throw a sidearm as hard as he wants with it. My sidearm's a little weak. I tend to go for a more flippier disc, but let's just see what they fly like for me. Jackknife Annie. Yep. So what I just got out of that flight is the exact flight that I would get out of like a really overstable FD3. The difference is that it got there in half the time. Let's try and like really put some serious anhyzer on this way up high. And it's still flexing out. You could say I put that on a forehand roller line, and before it even hit the ground, it was back at the hyzer angle. I'd say we're about 300, which is my comfortable PD2 distance, especially when they're this overstable. Oh yeah. Wow. I can tell you one thing, if you don't know how to throw on anhyzer, this disc is gonna force you to learn. Ooh, that one got some spice on it. they're hitting the ground at such a sharp angle, they're not even skipping. And the last time that we said that about a disc in the Discmania lineup, it was the tilt. We're on tilt status of PD2. My lord, give me any headwind in the country. Put me in Kansas, put me in Las Vegas, put me in freaking Maple Hill when we got the freaking winds ripping out there. These are going to work in all conditions. These are the most overstable PD2 with this amount of dome that I have ever thrown. When these beat up, they could be very, very useful tools, but for now, they're just gonna be the beefiest disc I own. And I hope that everybody out there got their hands on not just a red, but a black mystery box as well, so you get your hands on the first ever reinvented PD2, and as well as all the other discs that come in the mystery box, because it's just like such a special thing, because I love that you can gift them to yourself. You don't know what you're gonna get, so it's always fun. PD2 absolutely rocks, and I would encourage anybody to try it out. So that's gonna do it for today's video, everybody. Once again, thank you for watching, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.